Now that you all sat down, go ahead and stand back up for the pledge. Tom, would you like to lead us in the pledge this morning?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, thank you everybody for showing up on our field trip meeting this morning. It's kind of nice to have a change of venue. Let's see, will the setup crew this morning please stand up? Nick and Romy and Tom and Pam and and Melinda, you helped set up too, right? Yes, thank you. It looks beautiful in here. And then thank you, Allison and Jeff, for cooking. Allison, you're awesome. This is great to be here. So do we have any visiting Rotarians or guests this morning? I'm not. Oh, Sophie, yeah?
Sophie Salcedo, President of Rotary.
All right.
I'm Travis. I'm the outbound supervisor.
Hey, all right.
Ruby. Well, I'm visiting from international.
All right, yeah, welcome.
My husband Dave.
Hey. And I think yeah, Mary's there. Hey. And go ahead and at some point check in here and let me know we're at the Vets Hall, and it's a great place to be and looking good. So let's see, anniversaries and birthdays. We didn't have any anniversaries last week. It was Susan Johnson's birthday on the 8th, but I think she's up in Portland with her daughter right now. So if you see her when she comes back, say happy birthday. So during Sunrisers or any other recognitions, anyone do any traveling or have anything Terry, there you go.
Terry?
Marty and I went to the Southern Foundation dinner in Santa Rosa last Saturday night, and it was nice to see people and everybody, getting over, moving along from the fires. It was hard to hear a lot of those stories. And then Sunday we went into San Francisco and saw a great play through ACT called Small Mouth Sounds. First of all, it was an hour and 40 minutes with no intermission, and that's usually the kiss of death, because often when they don't want you to leave at the interval, it's because you might want to. But that wasn't the case. We really enjoyed it. We had a nice time in the city, and it was pretty, and we came home.
Awesome. Wow, thank you. Any other travelers or anything coming up? I do want to mention, so it is the holiday season, so if you would, you can text or email me your holiday photos, and we'll hope to get a nice photo book or collage going for when we come back from the new year. We'll get a nice little wrap up of our holiday season. So go ahead and send those to me via email or text. Let's see, upcoming events. The big one, Taste, is next week. So don't forget, we're going to be dark the Friday afterwards, but that's on Thursday. Lisa, do you have anything you wanted to?
So anybody that has sent their money into Rachel or brought it into her, please do, or you can call me and I can pick it up. We're still looking for some volunteers. Hopefully we can get everything set up by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and hopefully it starts at 5, the vendors come in at 3. So let's just get this together and make it a great event. All right?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a ticket with them today that I could?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
I need a ticket before I do.
No, so ticket sales are going good. About a week ago, they were right around, 130, and I think we're pushing 400 now. So it's the time where everyone decides they realize it's Taste, so they'll go. So keep pushing the tickets. I know I went to the McKinneyville Chamber Minister last night and sold about 6 or 7 tickets there. So yeah, it was good. So we'll keep them going. Rachel, did you have anything you wanted to say about the sign-up slots or anything?
Oh, I added a few slots, so I'll resend it out to the individuals that haven't signed up today. And then there's also a physical copy up there if you would like to sign up for an empty slot. And then I'll put your name and email in, and you'll get a reminder. So that's about all I was saying.
All right, perfect. And then don't forget that we should park on the, what street is that? 7th? Yes, park up on 7th Street to leave the room for people coming in and out. And you know how the parking in that parking lot is chaos at today's time. So yeah, just we'll leave as much space as we can there. And oh, here's another thing. So we're going to be taking pictures of the auction items over the weekend and then post it to our our flyer on Facebook. So if you see that, go ahead and share it, because then we'll get a photo of all the auction items that go in there, and that usually likes to round up people and kind of create. Scott?
Where are the auction items?
Right, I know they're at Hellsport and just a Hellsport.
Yeah, mainly just the health board.
Mainly just at Hellsport then, yeah. You can just drop it off there.
I have my car, I have mine in my car, so if anybody needs anything over there, we know where to do that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so anyway, if you see that, share it. That'll drum up some more excitement, and we'll make it a great event, as it always is. Aside from that, we have the Membership Foundation Seminar coming up. That's going to be on the 19th, the same day as the Foundation Dinner. Terry, do you have anything you want to say about the seminar?
It's going to start at 9:30. It'll be at the Elks Lodge. It'll be over by 2. Evidently, they're combining membership and foundation a little bit, so I asked when this foundation really start, because I'm spending a whole day. But anyway, so it'll be good. I hope a lot of people are going, and I think that it's one of the things, even if you can't get there right at 9:30, you'll get some good information if you get there closer to when the event starts. And the sign-ups went out. Did everybody get an email to sign up for it?
I did.
The dinner and the seminar too.
Yeah.
So if you need more information, and can we get a show of hands of how many people are planning to go to? It's not really a dinner, the Huron Steak at 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's all the same
And how many
day.
people are already planning to go to the seminar?
Nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The seminar is great. You learn a lot about the foundation too, which is one of the more informative parts of that. So yeah, that's on the 19th. That's coming up. Also, we're going to do the Christmas caroling on the 2nd. So that's at Los Bagels in Eureka at 6:30. Is that right, or 6?
I've got it on the.
I think you said 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what
6.
I thought.
If we
That's
should
great.
6.
6 o'clock, Los Bagels,
Just
December
outside Los
2nd
Bagels.
in Eureka. And yeah, we'll do some caroling. We'll get a good turnout.
Rain or shine, snow or fog, we will not be deterred.
We're going to sing.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. And then we have the AIBT coming up, so we're coordinating that right now. So we'll be sending an email out for volunteers. Last year we started supporting the women's tournament as well. I think it was their 3rd annual, so that's up and running. So we'll do hopefully both the women's and the men's tournament. So just kind of be watching for volunteer opportunities for that. It's a good one, and we have the coaches night with that, and we get free access to any of the games. So they're real exciting games to watch, especially when Arcata High is doing good, real high energy, good time. So look for that.
What are the other volunteer jobs needed?
Usually, in the past, we've done security and whatnot, but new rules have kind of like cut us out from that. So they kind of have their own security detail. But T-shirt sales and other sort of support is kind of where we're needed. So that'll be it. And Interact's going to help do T-shirt sales as well. So that'll be fun. And then the next board meeting, it's going to be at Umpqua Bank, AJ, yeah? Okay, at Umpqua at 7 a.m. November 20th. So put that on your calendar. Also, if you plan on showing up, go ahead and email Nick your order from Los Bagels. He's going to go to Los Bagels before the meeting and then bring all the food to us. So that'll be a good time. Does anyone else have any other announcements right now? Scott, I know we had that HSU deal coming up.
Yeah, you guys spoke about a letter that was sent out about possibly volunteering on the 18th, but it's only if we win tomorrow and if a bunch of other teams lose. So you have to get a perfect storm for it actually to happen. But if you're interested and it does happen, pick up that email that was sent out and fill out those forms and get it back to please.
Be more hopeful.
We're gonna do it, yeah, exactly.
Really get you done tomorrow. Finally.
I'm going to put Sophie on the bite here in a second, but one thing you don't really all realize is that you are all on a committee to help recruit young members for the Rotary Club. Rotary for young people 18 to 30, and a lot of times, it's not all the time, but sometimes you'll identify that person that seems like, you know what? And you really can get connected with people that are actively doing the kinds of things we do in the community. But Sophie, you've got a Friendsgiving event coming up. And it's, as I understand, it's a social that kind of lets people just kind of come and have some Thanksgiving-ish kind of stuff and be able to meet some people. No pressure, no nothing. But can you stand up and kind of tell them what that event is?
Yeah, so next Wednesday, in place of a normal meeting, we'll be meeting at Jessica and Jordan's house in McKinleyville. We made a Facebook event, so that has the address on it. Yeah, if you know anyone who might be interested in joining the club, it would be a good time to meet people. It's going to be potluck style. I'll send you guys the Facebook link or something. Well, talk to me if you have questions.
And yeah, it doesn't. The thing about Rotary needs a lot more turnaround. I mean, they have a lot more turnaround than we do. So, you know, they always need fresh people to come in because they move off to go to school elsewhere or do other things in their professional life. So, you know, but a lot of times we'll just say that person that works for me, you know, and you know, a lot of Rotarians throughout the world join Rotary because the boss said, you need to join a service club. You know, so don't feel bashful about putting the Bible on somebody that you know or you see if you have that power. You know, but even if you don't, you can always encourage somebody. And the thing is, they're really you know, great young bunch of people. They're very welcoming, and they just, you know, they do so much. I mean, when you go to their meeting, it's, okay, we're signing up for this, we're signing up for that, we're signing up for this, we're signing up for that. And they really can use our help to find, you know, even if, you know, if we could funnel 5 or 6 their way every year or so, it would help a lot. You know, they do their own recruiting, but sometimes you just see that person.
Great, thank you, Greg. Any other announcements out there? Cam, yes.
Yeah, I think Jeff and Allison can use some help after the event, moving chairs, and I'm not sure what else, but.
Absolutely. Okay, so those of you that can stick around afterwards will stay and help them clean this place up. I know it's a big week and weekend for them, so yeah, that'd be great. Ian?
Related to Rotary, a couple weeks back, Travis here, our future outbound, had helped Lost Coast Rotary with their annual fundraiser at Spirits and Spirits as one of the ghouls. And I got to say, he and Izzy actually really creeped some people out. So, well done. He was hiding under these stairs, and he'd come out just, oh man. Thanks to Travis for jumping in with Rotary and helping them with their fundraiser. They really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, any other announcements out there? So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the raffle a little bit early, and then I'm going to hand it over to Jeff so we have time to do the tour and whatnot afterwards. So let's do the raffle. Sarah, you want to lead us in that? Drum roll, please.
I'll send out an email. So that way we have an email.
Wait, where were you?
823050.
Red ticket.
Red ticket 823050.
050.
One home dog.
What home?
050. Big winner. What's the prize today, Sarah?
Price $110.
$110. Joker.
Interact went down one.
Next try.
Blue ticket 202-989.
989.
202-989.
Okay, I have it, Jeff. You pay on behalf of. No pressure.
That's all. No
Blue.
All right, yeah, you only get 2 tries. So 120 is
All right, good morning, Sunrise. Today, I'm really enjoying this. It's Veterans Day, Veterans Week, but it's also the Marine Corps birthday. And today, here at the Veterans Hall, this is Commander Jeffrey Sterling. Jeffrey was in the Marine Corps for, I believe, 6 years, and when he got out about 2011, he traveled around. He's not from Humboldt County, but he found his place and made it home. He tied in with the Veterans Hall, and after so much time, he became the commander. And he's made a huge change here. And so we're going to hear about that, and I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As Tom said, I traveled around trying to find home. I found Humboldt County to be home. I like the people, I like the environment, I like the weather. It reminds me a lot of Asia, this tropical weather. I came, I found this building about a year, 2 months ago when I met a gentleman named John Groby, SEAL Team Member 1. He served in Korea, great man. And I fell in love with this building because this is a 1930s old growth redwood building. Built 1929, opened its doors November 11th, 1930. So tomorrow it's our birthday for the hall. It was $30,000 raised to build the building. Now it's worth quite a bit more. But it's been closed for a few years. Last 15 years, activity slowed down and ceased to exist, and it's spread out everywhere else. And at the time in the 1930s, when the American Legion was formed in 1919 in the French trenches of the war, World War I, they said that we needed a place for our veterans to come home to. So they created the American Legion in different counties, different cities, created buildings for veterans. So when we got back from war, we had a family to come back to. That's what this place is, and that's what I like to see this place come again. And it's a very, I believe veterans and the community, if we work together, we can live in a harmony that is just unbelievable. We've lost track of that since the 60s and 70s. And that's when you see the decline of our building going down. So I'll give you guys a tour, show you the things that we're doing, knowing that this is an old growth redwood building, and that it's stood since 1930, and we'd like to see it make its centennial and then 100 years past that for veterans. Because the war won't, let's be honest, it's not going to stop until we all figure out how to work together. So we start locally, small communities, and build it out. Who knows? Maybe we won't need veterans anymore. But thank you for coming. The quiches are ready. I apologize they are late. Please help yourself. There's 10 more quiches. And
The food's amazing, by the way.
yeah, all Allison. That's all Allison. She's our auxiliary president. We're trying to reestablish. We used to have, the VFW came in 1954 when they lost their building out of Mad River. So they joined our building. So we housed the American Legion Post 274 and the VFW Mad River 2542. At one time, Humboldt County had 12 different Legion posts and 12 different VFW posts. We are now currently down to 5. Yarville's still there. 6 Legion posts and 5 VFW posts left with only 4 buildings. So we've lost our buildings, we've lost our space. So we're trying to keep it alive. Allison is creating our Women's Auxiliary for the American Legion. Yes, the American Legion hasn't moved at the times, and we still have a Women's Auxiliary. We have a Sons Legionnaire, but we do have, for the first time, a female national commander. And that's what the American Legion does. We have a national seat house. We work with Congress. We fight for veterans' rights. We created the GI Bill, the Forever GI Bill, and also the VA representation was fought from Legionnaires fighting to their Congress saying we need to do something for our veterans. We're not doing it. Like I said, some of that's been lost, so we're trying to bring that life back. And so we all come here and bring our stuff back together. I saved all of our records. We have interns from Humboldt State University going through all of our records that were put in storage. And I've got records from 1922 when our post was first established in Arcata, California. So we're coming up to 100 years for us here in Arcata, and I like to see it. Thank you. So yeah, we're starting the chow hall. This is our chow hall. Everybody has been familiar with this. Our kitchen, and in the back, we need some remodification in there to come up to the 21st century. And our property is 126.5 feet by 126, so it's 2 partials. When it was built, nothing else was around. We have this is everything you see here. So the fence is ours. our shed. We're trying to remodel this to make it an outside activity as well. We do house a lot of weddings. We just had a wedding this last Saturday, and we also house a lot of memorial services. We had one Sunday. Today is the Marine Corps birthday, 242 years of service, of excellence. And we're celebrating the Marine Corps birthday here tonight. We have the College of the Redwood Band coming in and playing a 23-piece Sabia set. Formal event. Everybody is welcome. We want to teach our traditions of the Marine Corps. 242 years. We're older than the country. We've been doing something right. So we want to teach these traditions to the general public and let everybody know what it takes just for self-sacrifice. Sign your line on that dotted line to pay up to payable to your life is what we do. And there's no question why we do it. We just do it because that's what we're passionate about. We ask nothing in return besides people to treat each other with respect, dignity, and community values. So we are trying to give it a place for veterans to come, young veterans, and that's the trick. I've been told since I've been here, you're not a veteran, you're too young. I served at 18, World War I, they served 16. World War II, 16. They get out 19, 20, 21, 22. You know, our kids are our veterans. That's our military, that's our fighting force. It is a young and woman's job. It's not for us. It hurts. It takes a toll on your body. So yes, veterans start at age 19, and they disappear. There's a lot of reasons they disappear, and so we're trying to bring that back, give them a place to come back to, so they don't disappear up into the mountains, and we can have our community values. We're going to build a victory garden out front. We want to put up a fence around the whole perimeter, give it a nice, beautiful location, outside fire pit, convert to a dump bin instead of trash cans, pavement put down so we get roach coach put in so we don't have to cook so much. I spend most of my time cooking and cleaning, and it hurts sometimes. I spend your whole day. We want to repaint this room. Whoever chose this pink hasn't been on Humble time.
Don't like it?
No. And if you can see, they had cabinets there, and they didn't move the cabinets, and they only painted to that section. For some reason, they covered up this beautiful 1930, or this old growth redwood. And this is old growth redwood that has paint on it. The times. So we want to bring it back to the times and expose this beautiful redwood, expose the building, so when people rent it, they can see its true beauty. So if you guys want to follow me, we'll go on a tour. And there's keys. You want to grab keys on the way? There's more room on this side of the table as well. Is that what we got for now? So this is our scout room. It currently houses Troop 9, which I believe is the oldest troop left in the state of California for Boy Scouts. We are the longest sponsoring Legion post for this Boy Scout troop. It dwindled down to 3 members. We're hoping that the Cub Scouts and the Tiger Scouts will pick up and come in here. And then Girl Scout
10622.
10622 just moved in here 4 months ago.
We've been meeting at the Vets Hall for 3 or 4 years, but we've been using this room for about the last year.
About a year, I get a year now, right? When I found out the Girl Scouts were meeting in the Chow Hall, I thought that was a little weird that they couldn't, I have the Scout space that just had a bunch of clutter in it, still has a bunch of clutter in it. They've been collecting it since the 50s. We moved Scouts in here, so it's now a Boy Scout and Girl Scout room, and we're going to continue to modify it and give it a nice, comfortable space so we can allow our Scouts to continue to grow to the upcoming future, which has its own balance on its own. So this is Troop 9 and Troop
10622.
10622.
Look, we put a poster up so that there'd be something Girl Scout in here. Thanks for those who participated in the net sale.
So yeah, so this is the Scout room. You guys missed that information. That's all right. It's Troop 9 and Troop
10622.
10622. A lot of numbers were in there.
And you can just say Anna Girl Scout.
Anna Girl Scout troop. The local Girl Scout troop meets here, and there's 2 Boy Scout troops. Troop 9 meets here. They have a nice little
And the Boy Scouts always need people too.
And
yes.
I'm gonna add the
need more
Girl Scout
scouts.
troop
Yeah.
used to be in the other room back in the
We could join too.
90s.
Really? What troop was that?
I don't remember.
I
35 years
Yeah, so we've been housing, the American Legion's been sponsoring the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts since the beginning of their time. We believe in that, the connection, the cohesion of working with the young troops and military to teach with backpack skills and survival skills. And it's just to help them in their Eagle Scout projects or their
Gold Award.
Gold Award. I'm learning these. I learn new things every day. So here's the scout room. We'll go this way. If you go straight to the other direction, is the Whiskey Locker Canteen.
Woo!
For veterans members.
You should be a member.
We should be a member.
We gotta join the Legion, right?
Yep.
They have a Marines ball too.
I know. I know. Look at, see, this is what I need, stuff like this, as a table. Yeah, table, I need to pair them together and make a dining room table. Finish it myself.
The countertop is wet, so be careful on it. Oh my God, we were expecting visitors to put it up. So that bar used to be in here.
We've seen your news last week.
Yeah, we have to see the news out.
See, the whole edition was out there.
Nice.
I know.
So this is the members' canteen locker, the whiskey locker as we like to call it. So members get the privilege of coming to our canteen and being in the canteen. This is, you know, veterans and members, so like our auxiliary or our sons that want to come in and join membership, this is part of the package that comes with the deal. This also gives the veterans a place to go to be themselves and not have to worry about being asked certain questions at a local establishment and not have to worry about anything going awry. When I came here, this was storage. The canteen, the bar was hidden. It was locked up. It had 3 false ceilings that were just falling down, wet. The county forgot to put the rain gutters back up after they painted the building. So for about a year, this building took on water. They dungeoned it up. They put up a bunch of plywood that, you know, just rotted and had spires behind it. These windows were hidden. I kept walking around the building. I see windows. You know, where do they go to? And we started cleaning it up and throwing all the trash away, and we found the windows. And we found all this beautiful redwood exposed, and we're cleaning it. You know, on this side you've got an orange, and that side you got white. The Coast Guard came in about the 70s and painted this whole room orange and white. They like the colors, I don't know why. So we, a bunch of young veterans, would come in. John Groby, that SEAL team member I told you about, cut this tree down about 10 years ago. It sat on his daughter's property. She donated, Rachel donated this slab to us. It was 26 feet long, 5 inches thick, 26 inches wide. 26 feet, yeah, 26 inches wide. We went out there as a team. We slabbed it with an old Alaskan chainsaw mill. If you read the senior news, it was in there. And we carried it and put it in here, and we built this tabletop. It is removable, but it is sturdy. When anybody in the military builds something, I promise you it's going to take some effort to get it out. So that's our project. So in here, we're moving the paint, bringing the redwood up, making it feel like our home, a place where we can go to and be around our fellow comrades and continue to do our community outreach. Building it starts. I mean, the Marine Corps was, if you guys don't know, a little brief history about the Marine Corps. We were founded in a bar, Tunn's Tavern, Pennsylvania, 1775, November 10th. Born in a bar, we'll die in a bar. Best things come out of them sometimes. So this is the canteen. Any questions while we're here? We house the Mad River Honor Guard. They do all the memorial services for veterans that fall in Humboldt County. So if you are related to veterans, elder generation that have passed away, you would have been served with Warren Tyndall. 92-year-old World War II veteran, still does the Honor Guard. We do need to find someone to replace him. He's getting tired. He just had a pacemaker put in 2 months ago. 92 years old, just got a pacemaker. Most of you will know Rowan Kendall, especially if you grew up in Arcata. He was a teacher for many years and at Humboldt State University as well. And so anybody knows a veteran that wants to do their civic duty and help with the honor guard, please send them our way. We can definitely use it.
Does Humboldt County own this building?
So there's that line that likes to get thrown around. So this property was donated by the Bull family into the essence of the American Legion Post 274. So where the American Legion Post 274 disbanded for 1 year, the property in the building would go back to the Bull family. So does the county own the building, or does the American Legion have rights to it, to where if we disband, the Bull family owns it? That's the trick, and that's what we're playing with. The county likes to think they own it. We'd like the county to...
Every time it's time for maintenance, tell them they own it.
So, yeah, that's that trick on it. California law, federal law states that each city and county is supposed to provide a place for veterans to meet. They have been failing at that job for many years. It's unfortunate, and we'd like them not to fail at it here and allow us to do the things we need to do so we can keep it alive. Garberville just got shut down because it's been leaking water for the last 15 years. And they also turned it into a courthouse portion, so they lost part of their building as a courthouse. The Eureka just got closed down. They say it's because of the earthquake. No, it's because the building maintenance was not taken care of. That's just factual. It's not okay. It's upsetting, and the fact that it took them that long to get it fixed, and it's going to take them 3 or 4 years. But now the question is, do we get any of that back? Do the veterans get any of that back, or are we going to get a small portion, or we get the whole building back? We don't know yet. We'll find out. But if we disappear, if the veterans don't start stepping up and joining the American Legion, where you at, Tom? If they don't start joining our American Legion and VFW, veterans will lose these buildings, and it will go back to wherever they choose and fit and however they want to connect their paperwork. I'm brutally honest. Straight to being a Marine. If you have any questions you don't want to answer to, please don't ask.
Immediate family members of veterans, is that what are the
Yes,
ways for
yes,
them?
immediate family and second, so grandparents, parents, sons, daughters. We'll give you access to the Women's Auxiliary, and then also for the Sons Auxiliary. And then if you have combat veterans, we'll leave you to the auxiliary of the VFW. So yes.
And the ways that people do that, how does a person become a member?
So for like the auxiliary portion is Allison needs 10 females that are related to a veteran. She has 7 now. 3 more, we put the paperwork in, my board goes and approves it, gets brought up in our general meeting, gets approved, then I get a bunch more paperwork to do and go through the state, and then we get the women's auxiliary building back up. And it's really simple. It's more work for me, but it's it's more work for the people who want to do it. It's good.
When you say you get the women's auxiliary building back up?
No, this is their building.
Okay.
They house here. They house here too. We lost our women's auxiliary in 1986, I think, is when we last had a women's auxiliary, somewhere in the 80s. And we still have the records for that, but it disbanded. The Vietnam veterans were not welcomed home. Not properly, and still to this day there's some issues, even from our own band of brothers of veterans. They were not treated fairly by the civilian population. They were not treated fairly by the Korean veterans and the World War II veterans. They were told that it wasn't a war. Our war was much worse than yours. Giving the World War II veterans that stigma of the greatest generation set us up for failure. Yes, they were a great generation, but were they the greatest generation, or are we going to continue making great generations? That's the question. It was unfortunate for those Vietnam guys and the females, the veterans. They didn't get the recognition, so when they all came back, there was nowhere for them to go. The Korean veterans didn't let go. They held on to this. They held on to this until it killed them. The American Legion of VFW is my video of that. And it's unfortunate because the Vietnam era veterans should have had the opportunity to come in the Legion, the VFW, and give back to their community. They didn't. Now they're coming in and taking over and giving back to the community. Now it's screwing my generation of veterans. The American Legion, the VFW, was made, like I said, for young veterans just coming out of the military. They weren't supposed to take commanding positions, but they were supposed to come in and be able to meet a commander or other members that can give them options to meet other individuals to help them get jobs, to help them get stable in the community. different resources that slowly faded away. We're trying to bring that back. So I'm 33. I'm technically at my prime of what commandership should be. I should be retiring from the American Legion in 3 years and be giving it to my younger generation. That's not going to happen. It's going to take a little bit longer for us to get it fixed. I'm fighting through state, we're fighting through national. I'm piggybacking off the Hollywood Post down south. It goes south to north for state commandership. He's 10 years older than me, so he's 44. 3 years he's in line to be the state commander. I'm to follow him if it all goes right. So he's over his 40s and I'll be close to my 40s. And that's just not the way it was supposed to work out. It was supposed to be for young veterans. We start here, we work our way back out in the community, and we open up businesses, other shops. We'd like to try to get that back going. So please come join us and help build a Women's Auxiliary and tell your veterans and any supporters that want it. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any costs involved in being a member?
So right now, our dues are so cheap. Imagine they're cheaper than the Rotary. We're $45 for members, for veterans. And I believe our auxiliary, we're going to start at $35 for the Women's Auxiliary. And that's yearly.
Yearly?
Mm-hmm.
And what are there any other costs of being a member?
Volunteer. The cost of volunteering. It's cost of volunteering. It's,
So is that your source of funding? I mean, how are you?
We rent the building out. So I'm a volunteer. Well, we just now implemented and got it passed to my Legion to pay myself and my XO 40% of the rental cost so we can create a business. This is a business. And it can't just run sustainably on volunteers. That's why we've got to this portion we're at now. So Phil and I are creating a business so when we leave, we can turn the keys over to another veteran and they have an income. So our goal is to give veterans jobs, create jobs. Not just this building, but we're going to expand past this building. Get back into the community. So most of our work, right now all of our work is volunteer, but it'll be 98% volunteer process and a couple paid staff is our whole end goal to keep this building functioning because it is a 9,946 square foot building that takes a lot to operate and it needs the paid staff. So that's what we're working on. But all of our revenues come in right now are from dues and rentals. So we do rent out. We just raised our price in January. We were only charging, you guys missed it, we were only charging $400 for a whole day, for the whole building last year. Now we're actually reasonably priced $700 for not a nonprofit for an 8-hour day for the whole building. So we're coming up in there.
What's the capacity of your facility like that?
Upstairs is 299, and here is 64. The scout room is about 64 as well, and the chow hall is 199. And the meeting room is 42, and my office is that too, as well. So roughly around 600. Any other questions? All right, we can continue this tour. We'll go out that door and go up the stairs and turn right. Some of you have been in the building in the past. We noticed we used to have a lot of house fridges for our renters. We no longer have no house fridges, and we've acquired different cooling systems. Still in the process, working on different other cooling systems. Trying to make the entryway, when you come into a great hall like this, pop is the way it's supposed to go. That's our goal in here. We're bringing our things out. We would like to replace this bar. This is the general public. When they rent the building, this is the bar they use. It's not sufficient enough for them at the moment, so these are the things we're trying to work on. Get a new bar put in here, smaller cooler system. I mean, we have a sink behind there that's been here since 1930. That's blocked right now because our fridge is in the way. Our outlet system, our electricity didn't come until the 50s, so the building was built with no electricity. Our outlets are very few and far between. But you can see the entryway, it needs some love, and this is where we like to put the museum, so it has some pop kits. We brought the POWMI table, that is for our soldiers and veterans, our military members that haven't come home. Each one of those things have a significant meaning behind it. The shot of tequila is because a Marine decided that her brother needed a shot of tequila. I won't argue with her on that. I'll do that down in 2 days. That's not supposed to be there though. We have our own interpretations if we lost someone. Right now, this generation of veterans, good chance every veteran has lost someone. Brother or sister, someone they knew and they loved and they cared about. We've been in war for 16 years, so we've lost a lot. Vietnam lost a lot. I mean, everybody's lost a lot. But so if you know a veteran, there's a chance that they know someone they lost. So we like to significantly honor them, knowing that they'll come home, hoping they'll come home. So that's what we do in here, in the museum. Simple things like that. Our great hall.
Chase you.
So as you can see, this is what we call our Great Hall. This is all, once again, redwood. That was painted over, covered up, tapes that put on it over the years. We like to bring back to life. We'd like to get all this cleaned up and truly showcase this redwood. Replace our carpets. These chairs on the side are American Legion chairs. They've been here since the building as well. On the side of them, you'll see it says American Legion. Currently, all the heads on the wall are the past commanders since 1922. We're going to remove them and place them somewhere else because I'd like this to be a neutral room for wedding parties. Yes, it is a veteran building, but I think we should have a neutral room. This is where we believe the neutral room should be. Wayne Caldwell at a Premier Financial donated us a $10,000 PA system, so we're currently in the process of hanging those up so we can start entertaining a little bit better. We just looked at processing and replacing our drapes to make sure they're fire retardant and also a dampener. In the 80s and 90s, we had a lot of complaints from the neighbors. Loud music, loud amplified music. So they made different policies and we had to shut our door. But this is a community building. The community does rent this hall. They do a lot of functions. We have the swing dance. We put on every fourth Friday. Folk Life Society puts on a barn dance every 3 months. Like I said, weddings and memorial services. So we're trying to be respectful to our neighbors, but also allow us to continue to do the things we like doing. So we're looking at replacing the drips, putting in dampeners, just kind of muffle the sound and keep it all in. Like tonight, a 23-piece member band is coming into play. It's got to be loud. It's you know, the little things. You can see we have a great view of the harbor. Eventually, a long-term goal would be to put a nice porch deck on the outside so patrons can truly enjoy the weather in Humboldt County. Have some good days, some rainy days. So this is our great hall. We hold our meetings back in here. And when we first started, when the building first opened in 1930, this was a packed house. It fits 299 people. It was a packed house. A lot of people don't know. World War I, World War II, 70% of Humboldt County's men supplied the war efforts. 70% of the men out of Humboldt County during World War I, World War II were veterans. Vietnam had dropped down to 50 to 55%. I'm still looking at better data at that. And then after the war of Vietnam, we inclined to about 60% because a lot of veterans like, hey, let's go to Humboldt County, I can go cut logs or grow wheat. And that's what they did, they can disappear. This is a place where people can disappear. And now we're at 20,000 veterans out of 120,000 people in Humboldt County. So we still have a lot of veterans. It could be a big house again, packed house. Any questions? Okay, the office is really the last spot. The office, my office, caught on fire in 2015 from faulty wiring. We lost a lot of bit of information. Not truly sure how much information we lost. But luckily for our neighbors, from this side and that side, caught the fire early on, and we got the fire department and they put it out. So now we got a nice mint green paint job. And no drapes from the county. So who asked that question? The county owns the building? That was someone earlier? If the county owned the building, if the county, if they own the building, when they got the insurance claim to replace the fire damage, they should have replaced the drapes. They have not. So I'm still curious on that one. Or the overhead ceiling from the water damage, once again, when they forgot to put the rain gutters back up, bless you. We used to have a flagpole that stood above our building about 15 feet. They took that down. If you look at Google Earth, it's still on there right now, Google Earth, so that means 2015, we had a flagpole that you can see all the way in Arcata. You can see this flag. That's no longer there. You can ask the county why they took that down. I'm still waiting for an answer on that one too.
I think that's kind of applying ownership, they do stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're insured. They must be the owners.
I'm insured and I have to claim them. So I have to get insurance for the building. I have a $1 million policy, but I have to put them on my insurance plan. Anybody know insurance? We're looking for a new insurance company. We're being, yeah. I know. You at the office, I have some old mobility of the roll top desk from the Samoa Coast Guard base that we saved from a veteran when we helped him move. I asked him the questions, hey, it's a beautiful old desk. He goes, yeah, I came from the Coast Guard base in Samoa. You want it? I said, yes, I do. So we have, some stuff like that. A lot of you may know him, may not know him. Major James A. Taylor, Medal of Honor recipient. He's a local. He's one of our members. His picture's up on the wall in the hall. He's coming here. So we have a lot of history. Us as veterans that truly know, truly understand the sacrifice. We have lost people in the past. There's a lot of Gold Star mothers out here. I didn't see Charlie today. Her son hangs up on our wall, Kevin, and we'd like to continue to keep that stuff. Below Kevin is the plaque of World War II veterans that died from Arcata, California, and where they died at. McKinleyville Airport also has a plaque like that for McKinleyville residents, and the Eureka Hall has a 3 times the size plaque of Eureka veterans that lost their life in World War II. So it's common. A lot of their name never be forgotten. That's the whole objectivity. That what they did wasn't for a lost vein. And that's what we truly believe as veterans, to keep their name alive, and their spirit alive, because they made that sacrifice. So we could be here today. Yes?
So if you were to do all of the upgrades that you want to do, what resources do you have?
Community outreach, fundraising, doing a lot of fundraising. I'm trying to work with other posts too that have a little more money and ask them for money. The whole goal would be to get the community to support, especially Arcata, to start showing life and love back to their veterans in the community building. That would be the main goal that I would shoot for, and then grants. So I got a bunch of different tasks I have to try to figure out the avenue of. But anybody that just really feels the need to want to do it, I encourage that.
How much money are you looking?
So the kitchen, so we start with the kitchen, we'll go the highest. I think it's around $200,000 to get that kitchen up to code, to bring it to the 21st century. Our drapes in this room, $13,333.02. I got that bill yesterday. The interior structural, just the simple things of here, I think is just hard labor. Volunteer hard labor, trying to do some stripper and a little bit of sanding. And then the aesthetics of the carpet. The concrete on the side, I believe that was somewhere around $8,000 I was estimating on doing a slab. The fencing, Dave, I want to say his name is Dave, from Green Diamond, is currently looking to donate fencing posts for us. I gotta talk to one of my veterans to find out if that's still a thing he's doing. We threw the lager ball last year and they had a great time. And we told them we needed fencing because I like to stop picking up human fecal matter. That would be great. So we put up a perimeter to keep that out, and he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Let me see what I can do. So we're waiting on that. So that one's a thing, and then really everything else is just it's labor. It's labor coming in, and sanding, and painting, and cleaning.
Do you have set work days?
I work currently right now 7 days a week. I'm here pretty much every day, unless I can try to take a day off. It really varies on what days. I usually try to take Mondays off. Tuesdays I go to the board of supervisor meetings, so I like to know what the county's doing. so I can keep my veterans informed, but otherwise we're usually here.
I mean, do you have plans for community with
We're trying to put more, we put some in the past, and it hits and misses up here in Humboldt County. I'm trying to learn to logistically better myself with that. It gets a very daunting task. Like Thanksgiving, November 23rd, we're doing the harvest feast, our second annual harvest feast. So it's where we feed anybody that needs to be fed, that is less than fortunate, can't afford, or anybody just wants to eat. And we get a bunch of volunteers that come in for that day. And so it varies the seasons when we're so pumped up on how much energy I still have to do that next step, to try to do the next step. Or when I get to that step, next thing I know, everybody's gone. It's August and no one's in Humboldt County in August, or it's December and no one's in Humboldt County in December. So it's a trick. But we always love it. That's what our Women's Auxiliary did. They helped out, just building our membership up so we can task out these accounting jobs out to different entities that would like to help out. Currently, Phil and I, my XO, we clean everything. If a function comes in, we just started asking for cleaning deposits, cleaning fees, because when someone come in rent the hall, yes, they could clean it, but they wouldn't clean it. And so Phil and I would spend the whole next day cleaning it. So now that whole day of office work just got taken away, and then it's a lot of time we break it. So we're trying to get more volunteers and more members, build our organization so we can task out each different step. There's a lot of great ideas that people want in place, but it's really hard when two people here full time. Trying to get that. Any other questions? You want to see the office?